Hey, this is Wilson with guestgrow.com, and I'm working on a project right now where I'm trying to help restaurants stop paying any kind of fees or commissions on the online orders. And I've been building WordPress funnels or restaurant funnels on WordPress for these restaurants for a very long time, bringing them foot traffic. And I think that there's another side to WordPress that can help them make WordPress and WooCommerce into an online ordering site. It's been pretty successful for the people that have tried it with me so far. They've done up to $40,000 in sales in just 1.5 months. And I've been testing some plugins, and I want to show you what free plugins I've been using so that you can create this site on your own if you're a restaurant or if you have restaurant clients. Okay. The step I'm on right now is so there's a bunch of billing and shipping fields, and for pickup or for doing any kind of online orders for pickup, you don't need their billing address or shipping address because they're going to come pick it up. Okay. And I need to find a way to help me manage these fields without any kind of code, because I know that most restaurant owners probably don't know code, right? So what I'm going to do is I've explored a lot of free plugins that help me manage this process. I noticed that some made it look like it was going to work, and then when I did a test checkout, it actually didn't work. It still asked me for the address. So I'm going to be going through some plugins with you today. I'm going to tell you why I didn't go with some of them, and I'm going to tell you which one I did go with and why I think that is the best option, both on the user end, so for us controlling the fields and using the plugin, and also for the user, customer, or guest, for them to be able to not see the fields and go through checkout smoothly. Okay. So the very first one I'm going to go to is this checkout field editor by Acowebs. Okay, so I actually checked out that one. I looked at the screenshots and details, and it looked pretty promising. So I'm going to go over to it right now by hovering over WooCommerce and then clicking on checkout fields. And what I see here is that there are a bunch of fields here. Okay, and I am probably, okay, so there's an X here. So I can probably try to X out this field. I can't remove default fields. Okay, enable disable field. Let's try that. Okay, and then let's unmark this is required. And let's do that for most of these address fields. Okay, I think this is what I did before as well. We want the phone number for sure. We want the email address. We just don't want any of the physical address information because the customer doesn't need this information, or we don't need this information from the customer in order for them to complete this order. Okay, so I took out everything except the first name, last name, phone number, email address, and right now I'm going to click on Save Changes. From here, I'm going to go to the website and visit the checkout page to see what it looks like now. Remember, our goal is to make sure that there are no billing and shipping fields here, which it looks good. So let's go ahead and pick a date and time for this order. And then I'm going to go ahead and place a test checkout order to see what happens. And if all goes well, the transaction is going to go through without asking us for our address or anything like that. And here you go. It says, please enter an address to continue. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure if I missed something here, but I did disable all the fields, and for some reason, it's still asking for an address. So honestly, I don't think that this plugin works. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate this plugin and move on to the next one. So I'm going to deactivate this one by Acowebs. That one did not work out for me. I'm going to move on to this next one by ThemeHigh and activate that one. And let's see what this one does for me. So I believe to go to the settings, I have to hover over WooCommerce and then go to checkout form here. Okay, and then I can see all the fields. So as you can see, it says that most of them are required and all of them are enabled. So the only things we need again are first name, last name, phone number, and email address. So I'm going to try to disable and make not required all the other factors. So I'm going to start with company name, and then I'm going to uncheck enabled and click save. See what that does. And then I'm going to do it for the rest of the other fields, not required and not enabled. So it looks like I have to go through a couple of clicks here in order for me to make this happen. But let's see if it's worth it in the end, because all that really matters, honestly, is the results, right? So let's go through these. Don't need the state, don't need the zip code either. Okay. And then let's go back to our checkout and see what it looks like now. So This was before when we were using the previous plugin, but it still asked us for an address to continue. So we are going to refresh it and see if the fields are hidden, and it looks like they are. Okay, good. Let's select a date and time, and then hopefully this one doesn't ask us for an address again. So let's go ahead and use the test credit card number and click on place order. Okay, this one still asks me for an address to continue. So I honestly think that these aren't truly being disabled. Let's go ahead and click on save changes. I just want to make sure one more time that I didn't do this incorrectly. So date, time, credit card. I literally just spam 42 on my keyboard just to make this work. And it still asked me to select an address to continue. Okay, so this one does not work for me. I believe this one again was by ThemeHigh. So I'm going to go back and deactivate this one. That one did not work out for me. Okay, so the next one I believe is by Algorithmica. I think this is the same developer as Booster, which is kind of like an all-in-one enhancer for WooCommerce. I am going to go to their settings and see what this is all about. All it has here is enable plugin, and it doesn't really show me a way to edit any fields. So honestly, this plugin doesn't look very useful to me. So I'm going to just deactivate it because I don't see any way to take out the billing and shipping addresses. So I'm going to deactivate this one by Algorithmica, and that's 3 down, and I believe we have maybe 3 or 4 more to go. So let's go ahead and go to this next one. Flexible checkout fields by WPDesk. Okay, let's activate that one and see what that one's all about. So let's go to WooCommerce. Actually, what we're going to do is let's refresh this checkout page and see what it looks like now. And all the fields are back. Okay, so now let's go back to the plugin that we just activated, and it should be under this checkout fields link here. Okay, this is pretty interesting. So this is kind of like it lets you move around the fields. Let's see if it lets you disable and unrequired though. Okay, so I actually want first name, so I'm going to leave that checked, but we don't want company name or any of these other things. So it tells us that we need it to be required. Okay, country region. I believe country region, it just can't be changed, and that's probably why a lot of these plugins aren't working, is because they give you the option to disable or make not required, but WooCommerce just won't let you on the back end, and maybe the plugin I went with found a way. I don't know, but let's go to checkout after disabling all those and making those not required and see what this looks like. So it still asks us for a town and city. Let's see if we can disable that. So I'm gonna go to town and city. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to checkout and refresh again. Okay, so everything's gone. I'm going to go ahead and choose a date and time and see what's going on here. All right. There's my test credit card again. And this one actually looks like it's going to go through. Okay, so this one actually works. Okay, so let's keep this one in mind that, okay, all of my pickup details are here. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so let's keep this one in mind. Let's look at what this one was called one more time, just to make sure that we don't lose track of it. But this one was flexible checkout fields by WPDesk. So that one is good. Okay, so you can use this one if you like. But I have to let you know right now that that user process, that experience for me actually wasn't as easy as the one I ended up picking. So let me show you some other ones. So this one is by Najeeb Ahmad. Actually, I used one of their other plugins, and that other plugin is amazing. It lets you add on, upsell, anything. It's really, really cool, and I can't believe it's free. So I was actually really, really excited about this one. And I remember I didn't pick it for some reason, but let's go ahead and go through it now. And maybe we can find out together why. So there's a place to make it enabled or disabled. It looks like mostly everything is disabled right now. Oh, so these are actually the hooks. Okay, so it tells you like what you can put in these hooks over here. Just to give you some context, hooks are like if you want to put something after the billing fields or after or before the shipping fields, for example. But they tell us that we can control the billing and shipping. So let's go ahead and click on this pencil icon to see what this gives us. And it looks like we can't really change anything here, honestly. Let's click on this pencil. And let's see. Yeah, I mean it doesn't. Okay, so maybe we can unclick required and see what that does. I'm gonna save that first. I'm gonna save these settings right here. And then since I got country off, let's see. I'm gonna go back to the menu and add an item so I can go back to my checkout page. And let's see what happened here. Okay, so it still asks me for country. Let's see if there's something else. Condition, no. Required, no. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do not required for a lot of these. Oh, actually, there's a visibility section right here too. So, okay, maybe we'll do like only members and see what happens there. But for all of these, we want to put not required. Okay. So, you know, as you can see, it's taking me a lot of clicks to do this. I literally have to click into the field just to unmark required and, you know, kind of do a lot of clicking. Which, you know, I'm not trying to sound too, like, lazy or anything, but it's a lot of clicking. I think I'm honestly just comparing it to the version that I ended up going with. I still don't see anything disappearing here. So I honestly would say that they did not do a good job on this checkout field one, but I'm telling you, the other one with add-ons and upsells, that one's amazing. I'm going to get to that one in a later video. But let's go to plugins and let's just go ahead and deactivate this one. It didn't work out for us. Where is that one? Right here. End media, checkout fields, deactivate. Submit. Okay. So let's go to this next one. I believe the next one, let's see. Checkout an account field editor by Themelocation. Okay, so let's activate this one. And let's skip this. I don't want to share any data. And so it actually has all these billing company stuff disabled already. So I'm just going to go and refresh this and see why that's the case. Maybe I edited it in one of the previous ones. Okay, so it looks like it's all disabled. And honestly, I can't even edit this right here. And I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Maybe enable. Oh, I see. So you have to click on it first. Okay, you have to click on it first and then see what happens there. Okay, so let's see if all the adjust fields are taken off, then let's see if we can finish a transaction. Okay, because that's the most important thing. So let's just choose a date and a time, and then hopefully this doesn't ask for an address like the other ones we had high hope for actually did. Okay, so it's to ask you for an address. Okay, so this one doesn't work out for us. Let's go back to plugins and deactivate this one. Getting through them one by one. Okay, so deactivate this Themelocation one. Honestly, it's not that great, so I'm sorry. The next one, I believe this next one is probably the one that I ended up going with if it's based on alphabetical order. Yep, it's this one. Okay, so WooCommerce Checkout Manager. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate this one. And I want to tell you why I ended up going with this one. Not only did the test checkout work, but hold on, how do you get here? Here you go, checkout. Okay, but it was very, very easy to manage. Okay, so for example, if I go to the plugin settings and I click on billing, I literally only have to click on these little tick boxes in order to disable these. Okay, so let's go to checkout and let's refresh this to show you what's going on. It looks like everything is gone. Oh, because it's all disabled already. I think this was from my previous settings. But I think the default way it comes is like this. So I'm going to go ahead and set it back to the default way just so you can see. Okay, so all this stuff is here. And now we want to disable it. So I don't want company name either, because that's just an extra field for customers to not care about. And then I'm going to click on Save Changes. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and refresh, make sure all of the fields are gone. Okay, and then I'm going to try to make a transaction. I want some food from this. All right, so let's do a test credit card charge here, and it should work. Oh, whoops. Place the order. All right, and it's looking pretty good. When you have that little bit of lag time, that's when you know it's looking pretty good. Okay, so yep, the order details work, and so this is the plugin that actually worked for me, and the one that I went with. I showed you other ones that could have worked as well, but this one, like I said, is the easiest to use. All it has is that tick box for you to just put, required, not required, or disabled or enabled, and that's the one I went with. So if you notice anything in this review where some plugins that you know of that I didn't try, or maybe some things that you think I missed, go ahead and comment below. If you found this video useful, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.